Imagine forcing your son to do a movie with you, only to be like, no, we're going to have no scenes together. I fucking hate you.
I like inviting someone onto the film set and going, I'm going to be a diva, I don't want to see you. You're cut from the thing. You brought me here. No. I like how they carpool together and then just didn't see each other.
Absolutely. I like that Will Smith was like, oh, and my character hates you the entire film because I myself need to get some actual stress out of our proper outside relationship.
I'm going to method act for this one, so I'm just going to act like I hate you for the whole entirety of the film.
I love the idea that Will Smith rocked up and was like, oh, who am I going to be acting with? And he's like, oh, Jaden's in this?
Oh, God, I hate that prick. We've had some personal feuds.
My name is Carl.
My name is Oscar, and this is Who Would Watch This.
This is Who Would Watch This.
And this is Who Would Watch This.
And this is Who...
And this is Who Would Watch...
This.
Watch this.
Who would watch
Watching
me?
this, watch this.
Ooh, watch
Who the
me
heck would watch this?
this?
Listen to the Who Would What? Who... Welcome to Who Would Watch This, the podcast where we watch a film, talk about the film, and then try and figure out who would watch this.
Today we're on to our fourth and final M. Night Shyamalan film of the month, Oscar. We made it. We did the entire month.
Did the entire month. Didn't cover old, because it's got okay reviews. We also can't leave our household to see it, so we don't know if it is good. We just get the outside memes, and that's all we get of old. So, alas, we've done this month.
Another 4 more weeks of lockdown minimum, baby.
It's juicy, my God. And
I'll tell you what, this movie did not help.
No.
We are reviewing After Earth, which currently has 11% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 1.7%, a 1.7 on Letterboxd, and a 4.8 on IMDb. Oscar, what is the plot of After Earth?
A crash landing leaves Kayata, Rage, and his father, Cypher, Rage, stranded on Earth a millennium after events force humanity to escape. With Cypher injured, Kayata, I don't know if they say his name, must embark on a perilous journey to signal for help. Wow. Cool. This is M. Night's sort of biggest film, budget-wise, and also the sort of last one until he's like, all right, let's rein it in, let me do my own personal thing. He's kind of in his, like, little small budget era, but this was, like, the last big blowout, and I've done a lot of research on this. It's pretty disgusting how he's treated. I think, other films he can kind of be, like, shat on. This one, I'm personally gonna throw it on Will Smith.
I'll also say this is the least M. Night Shyamalan film I've ever seen.
Yeah, this is...
Doesn't have any sort of his usual directing techniques or anything like that. It's just, had you told me it was just not done by him, like, I'd believe it doesn't seem M. Nighty at all. There's no twists, there's no schmaltzy characterizations or anything like that. There's none of his usual stuff.
No, it's pretty much the most, like, it's filmed like Avatar. That's it. He's not in it.
I'd say even Avatar's more like him in terms of it having that very slow, deliberate direction and stuff. This is just like...
Will Smith was behind the... just going, hey, we're going to do this. And M. Night's going, well, fuck, you are Will Smith.
It genuinely feels like, oh, we let a robot watch 150 science fiction films and this is what it made. Like... Alright, Oscar, well, before we jump into what we thought of the film, let's go back in time to a time when we hadn't watched it and tried to predict who we thought would watch After Earth.
Carl, older After Earth, what's going to happen? I think we know what's going to happen.
I think it's going to be After Earth.
It's going to be After Earth. Look at that.
Alright, so have you seen After Earth before?
I've seen all the advertising for it when it came out. It was everywhere. I don't think anyone saw it that I know. I remember it got dogpiled a lot, and now I'm starting to think it might just be an M. Night dogpile, because I don't think anyone actually watched it.
No, it didn't. It made some good cash, but I've never met somebody that's actually seen this film.
Yeah,
I watched it when it was released on DVD, but that's it.
Rogue, you bought this on DVD?
I rented it through Australia's equivalent of Netflix back in the day. They would send them to you in the mail in a little slip. What
was that? Didn't we have Netflix? What was it, like Ozaru Films or something?
It was called Quick Flicks.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, no, I've never. I'll invest.
Write down a note to steal that for later, even though physical media is gone.
um, yeah,
Gotta jump out of this Tesla thing right into quick
yeah.
flicks.
I'm. Amazon, cut it down. Quick flicks. Invest, invest, invest.
I hear Jeff Bezos, after going to space, his next frontier is getting into the quick flicks market.
Oh yeah, everyone knows on-demand CDs, cassettes. You gotta get in quick. You gotta get in quick.
You wait 4 days for a film to rock up in the mail, and you watch it and you send it back.
You have to rewind it too. It's like classic, it gives you the nostalgia feel. It could work. It could work. This film, who would watch this? No one seemed to have watched it, but then someone did.
Yeah, well, I didn't remember a lot. I remembered the bird. The bird was entrenched in my memory.
Yep.
So I remember the bird. I guess it's for people that like big birds.
Yeah, I mean, if you've just destroyed Sesame Street and you're sort of like, I need more Big Bird content, this is it. I don't know what bird you're talking about. What bird is there? A bird in the film? I thought they went to Earth. Have I? What film is this?
I do remember in general the entire film being a missed opportunity because it actually has quite a creative setup and then decides to do absolutely nothing with any of it. So I think it's going to be for people that like squandered opportunities. Oscar, who do you think it's for?
So just jumping off squandered. What a strange. If you love Willow Smith's new album, then you're gonna love Jaden acting and Will Smith acting. Oh. Okay, Carl. Should we jump into this fun little romp, this little hour and 32-minute romp?
Yeah, I'm keen to see how Earth was created and before Earth. Is that what this film's about? 10,000 BC? Yes.
That film popped up and then just left. I saw it on a poster. Went, I want to watch that. It just left. You seen it?
10,000 BC. Yeah.
Yeah.
10,000 BC.
Good film. Should I seek it out on Quick Flicks?
Could you imagine seeking out the movie 10,000 BC of all films to seek out and then ask for it in physical media from Netflix? I mean, Quick Flicks. Oh no.
You know what's fucked
Quick
up?
Flicks, what are you doing?
That would have been a conversation someone had 10 years ago. That exact words, like, should we rent 10,000 BC from Quick Flips? And then some guy was like, yes, that's what we're doing.
I'm gonna say, depending on the year that it was, I probably did watch it through Quick Flicks because I definitely
10,000
didn't see it
BC.
in a cinema. It was before Earth. Oh god. All right. After Earth, let's get into it.
Yeah, we got. So we get started with the trailer. So we got Will Smith and Jaden Smith. They have names in the film. We're not going to be telling them. Oh, we'll start.
Their character names are some of the worst names in a mainstream film. I can't imagine spending $130 million on a film and not having changed the characters' names.
Yeah, so their last name is Rage. Will Smith's Cypher Rage.
Boo. Cypher Rage.
Yeah.
Is this the early was he a computer hacker? Why is he called Cypher Rage? What's the kid called?
Kit A. Kitai. How would you pronounce that? Because I remember them saying in the movie.
Yeah, I'm going to leave it up to the listener.
Yeah, this is kind of your homework. You know, you work it out at home.
1, 2, 3, listener, say it with me. If you said something, you owe me money legally.
Yeah, that's how money works.
It's how podcasting works. So it's just a pyramid scheme through words. Yeah, so we get like a very frantic opening that I guarantee you would not. I feel like this is a studio interfering because test audiences were blatantly confused about everything in the film. Because it begins with Will Smith getting sucked out of the ship, Jaden Smith lying absent on the grass.
And he's like, well, this is a great time. I bet you're wondering how I got here.
Yeah, and then him narrating what happened to Earth as to the reason they leave, what ghosting is, and then it goes 3 days earlier.
It is the most manic 5-day. It's like the end of Lord of the Rings, like the 15 endings, but the start. It's very strange, isn't it?
Could you imagine if Lord of the Rings was done in a, 30 months earlier? It's like Frodo being like, oh, Gandalf, here you are. Like,
It just goes to the Hobbit. That's all it is. It's spliced in.
It's only just occurred to me how odd it is, the fact that the movie begins with Jaden Smith lying on the grass when he wakes up in the ship when it crashes. So when is he lying on the grass?
That's when he's got the poison. That's when he's being poisoned by that leech. And his face
Why
is
would
all
they show that at the beginning of the film?
I
Sections.
have no clue. It's such a strange, because you think the ship crashes and he's flown out there.
Yeah.
I guess those are always used so that to like tell the audience, hey, don't worry, we know this is boring, but things are coming up and it's gonna be exciting. But the film's pretty quick paced. You know, it's only like 5 minutes before we get shown like something fucked up. So no clue why this is here.
Oh yeah, especially because like as the movie goes on, they do put all of that information in the film. Like, if you don't have that at the beginning, I think you can very easily pick up on everything that it talks about.
Yeah, you get the
Like,
gist.
Will Smith even has Will Smith has a giant monologue that's basically just like, this is Earth, we're here after it, and everything in here is evolved to kill us now. But instead, Jaden Smith is just like, pollution, shots of pollution. We did this.
It's weird, isn't it? It's like all stock footage. It's strange, isn't it? It's nothing like... And then they kind of show the aliens. So essentially, okay, they've left Earth because of all pollution. Then they go on a new planet. I can't remember what it's called. It's called like the Nebula System. It's something dumb. It's like a sand planet. And there's these evil aliens on there. And they can...
Yeah, and this is what I
don't
understand. These aliens are bred to kill humans. Who's breeding them to kill humans?
It's strange, isn't it? So it seems as though they've been here for like, I don't know, either 1,000 years or 1 year. Not sure how long they've been here. The humans, but essentially, yeah, the the aliens look like these like gross beetle things. They can kill humans because they can smell fear. Now, Will Smith is so cool; he doesn't even fear anything, and that's what ghosting is.
What a great protagonist to have for a film. Somebody that doesn't fear anything. That'll give us a lot of suspense throughout the movie, I'm very sure.
It's also a good creative decision because he has no fear, he acts as though he's just a numb robot. And that's 1/5 of the movie.
He acts as though he hates... he hates every character around him. I've never seen it looks like he's definitely going to, like, kill his wife and take her 401k or whatever it is. Like...
Just suck down the sin.
I've never seen somebody... Oh my god, the thing that I thought was hilarious, I'm just going to jump to it, because it just demonstrates how much of an asshole Will Smith's character is the entire film. There's a part where he's on, like, an iPad, and they're like, hey, it's your birthday, blow out the candles.
What is up with that?
And he's like, I refuse to do this. This is dumb, lame, and stupid. I'm on the other side of an iPad. I cannot blow out the candles. And then it's a 3-minute back and forth of all the characters being like, blow out the candles, Will. Just fucking try and blow out the candles.
But he's not like it's too silly. He's just like, well, that would not work. My breath would not blow onto the iPad. Also, it's 1,000 years. DS has had this blow technology. No fucking way this does not exist. Anyway, go on.
He's like, oh my god, daughter, you're such a little bitch. Wife, can you talk some sense into her? And the wife is like, just blow out the candles. Our marriage is in shambles. Blow out the goddamn candles, Will. And he does it. And it's like, he himself seems to be like, I hate this. The kid blows out the candles for him and he's like, I hate this as a gag and I hate spending time with us as a family. I'm convinced that the son throughout the movie has misconstrued their relationship as the dad being upset that the daughter died protecting the son, but really the dad's upset that he had to do that stupid candle gag.
I had to not let go. That's ridiculous. Why did I do that over Skype? My men were in the room. I looked like a goddamn fool. Why would you do this? Now, before we get into this whole thing, should we just talk about how this is... So Will Smith and Jaden Smith, they're father-son in real life, and they're playing father-son in the film.
They're related in real life?
Yeah, it's fucked up, isn't it? I thought Smith was a common name, but it turns out it's just them. But, like, I watched a bunch of interviews, like, with them. I think this is just actually how they work, like, at home. And it's really upsetting, because Will Smith's is, like, this military dad, like, so strict, making Jaden Smith do all this garbage stuff. And it just kind of feels like it's too close to the actual recording of the film.
Definitely. It feels like the family dynamic is in this movie. And it makes for an uncomfortable watch. Like they hated each other on set or something. Like
it does feel like that, doesn't it?
I didn't look into any of it, but I've heard rumblings that this is a Scientology film. Have you got anything on that?
I did read that. They were big like, hey, no, it's really not. Trust us.
I know that Will Smith genuinely keeps up being like, I'm not a part of Scientology. Like, every few years has to be like, I'm not a part of it.
Yeah, so a lot of people were like, hey, this is pretty much the similar plot to like Ron L. Hubbard's whole thing, like his book, and then I think it's similar plot to Battlefield Earth.
Keen to get there one day.
We will do that one day, won't we? God,
yeah. We'll do a John Travolta month for sure. We need to do The Fanatic.
Oh, The Fanatic was a fantastic romp.
I'm sure we're you're the only person to ever call The Fanatic a romp.
It's on the DVD box. I quick fixed it last night, and they were like, a big romp. Oscar wrote that? Crazy.
I love the idea of you renting DVDs and writing your own little quote onto them and sending them back for another user to get.
Get sent back to Fred Durst. He's like, oh, great. That's how I get all my critical. That's how all critics contact with me. They have to order my DVD, write on the box, and then send it back.
I love it. The movie's been out for 2 years. He's like, wife, the reviews have just come in. Oscar's called it a romp. Can't wait for the LA Times to send me their Quick Flicks DVD.
Only another 2-3 years, tops. Yeah, so it does have a lot of parallels, because all that space stuff always comes up, but Will Smith's like, haha, it's freaking not, and everyone's like, oh, I don't know. It is funny.
Well, because is he as an author? Did he do good sci-fi?
Ron L.
Like,
Hubbard.
What's the opinion of him if you remove the Scientology stuff?
No.
What are his books like?
No. He was a science fiction writer. He didn't do very well, and then he was like, I'm gonna write a sci-fi religion, but this is actually real.
Right.
His sci-fi books aren't good.
And then, but do then people look at his sci-fi books and think of them as religion, or do they think of them as sci-fi books he wrote before
just silly
religion?
little books he wrote, and this is, but this Scientology book that he's written, I can't remember what it's called. You know, I went to a Scientology thing once.
Yes. Yeah, you have told me. Do you want to repeat it for the podcast?
Yeah, I did the test. Oh, it's terrifying. They get you. My friend and I were bored, and we were like, you know what? Let's just freaking go for it. Let's see what it is. We just saw like the Louis Theroux documentary, the Scientology one. We're like, fuck it, we'll give it a go. They walk you in. They've got like all the history. I've kind of blanked it from my main, or they've blanked it. I don't know. You know. And then they make you. It's a bit spooky. You can't really leave. Like, it's the assumption you can't really leave. Anyway, you get sat down. Then they like give you this massive test of like 200 multiple questions, and some of them like fine. Yeah, there's a lot. Fuck, there was so many.
Was that your full day?
Yeah, it took me like 30 minutes, I remember. They're all pretty quick. It's like it's more like on a scale, like likely, most likely, that sort of thing. But essentially, like, some of them, like, do you like your parents? Do you like your friends? Like, all those sort of standard ones. A couple of rogue ones thrown in there. Like, you see a bird, just kill it. How do you feel? You're like, I'm good. But then essentially, it gives you like a rating. And they're pretty much like, all right, so we've worked it out. You're low on self-confidence. And you get brought into a little booth. And they're like, so you're insecure. We could fix that, fatty. And they pretty much like sign you up for a class. And my friend and I ran out of there. So I don't think, so it's mainly self-help at the start. And then I think you get into the science things, the creepy science fiction stuff at the end, the culty stuff.
Yeah. My main brush with it is that just one Scientology episode of South Park where they're like, this is really what it is. And you're like, wow, that's very upsetting that people believe that.
Well, I think it's like, they get you in with like the whole like, cause I think it is maybe like self-help, but that kind of like, by the way, keep paying for this. And once that happens, I think then it like, once it's like, oh, it really helped me. What else do you guys got? It was like, well, we got this alien thing. You probably don't want to hear about it. It's like, no, I do. You helped me with my insecurities. And then you're on you're on that train.
And it's like, what if we told you you were in a jar? This jar.
Okay. What? But yeah, so there's a bit of Scientology. There's a couple of parallels to it. But Will Smith's like, haha, shut the fuck up.
Stop comparing this. Because he came up with this concept, didn't he? And I think he's pretty proud of it.
It's so rogue. He was watching I Shouldn't Be Alive. That have you seen that show?
Yeah.
With his brother, and essentially I don't know, two people got stranded, and he was like, what if a father and a son got in a plane crash and crashed? And he's like, wow, that's a pretty interesting connective story. He was like, what if it's 1,000 years in the future though? And then the Wikipedia article's like, the budget skyrocketed.
Because it does feel like what could be a very scaled back thing just constantly upping itself with layers. It's like, what if it was a father-son survival thriller, and it's also a sci-fi, and it's about Earth, and there's a monster that feeds on fear? Just things that just kept getting added to it where you're like, I mean, these are all interesting things, I guess, but why are they here in this specific film?
Yeah, it's so rogue. Anyway, Will Smith was trying to figure out someone to do it. And this is oh god, M. Night. Well, here's the thing. I actually really like M. Night as a person. I think those 4 films he got a bit screwed over. But this is not his fault.
Absolutely not.
Will Smith didn't show up to his birthday party. M. Night's like, that's rude. It's the saddest interview. Anyway, Will Smith gives him a call a couple days later. He's like, hey man, happy birthday. M. Night's like, yeah, thanks man.
A couple days later, that doesn't matter. Don't do it a couple days later.
Wait till next year.
Rubbing salt into the wounds.
On this phone call, M. Night's like, well, I'll be the better person. He's like, I saw Karate Kid. So disgusting. That's who's watching the karate? Anyway, he said, I really like Jaden. I thought he was really good in it. Will Smith's like, so I got this film idea. Pitches it to him for a couple of minutes. And then I think M. Night's just like, I'll do it. I'm not sure why he said this. I don't know if that's a lie. I don't know. But how much that's M. Night's decision, how much that's Will Smith kind of pushed him to do it, I don't know. It's all a bit...
M. Night's probably also at a point in his career where after these kind of critical failures and kind of floppy films, that if he compare himself with this, A-level actor who's a big cash cow at the box office and might be able to save him.
I think so. And he's so well-liked, Will Smith,
for sure.
Which is strange. I don't know. It comes in, it's always a bit weird with Will Smith is quite a likable, charismatic man. It is strange with Jaden though, and I think this film is I don't know, it comes out, it's pretty ugly, I think, how Will Smith is using Jaden and Willow as a vehicle for he's I'm my mortality, I'm gonna die, but Jaden, you will continue this, my legacy. It's very, I don't like it. Anyway,
I wonder how many times he asked Jaden to do the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air,
again.
Be in it. So
yes,
anyway, so we're on the alien planet. It's 3 days before they crash. It turns out the Jaden Smith isn't going to get progressed in whatever weird
Ranger
soldier
school
program he's in. Yep. He's like, well, I don't know, my dad's coming home tonight, so could you please advance me anyway? And the guy's like, can you say hi to your dad for me?
Yeah, he's pretty much
and that's where the conversation ends, and it's and I took note of the fact that Jaden didn't pass on that message, and I thought that was a bit of a dicky move.
It was a bit of a dicky move,
it's clearly, I think it's important to that guy to let him know that he cares about Will, and he's happy that he's back. And now Will won't know how much this guy cares. Because clearly this is a world that even though they have floppy iPhones or whatever it is, I don't know why it's a mesh and an iPad, really bugged me. It's a page flapping around on a computer screen at the same time. Shit me. Anyway, but nobody calls one another other than this one family.
I was going to say, the technology is weird, isn't it? It's strange. It makes it looks cool. I don't know what this is. What is this? One that seems Jada's just playing with a bird cage, it's digital. She closes it. I assumed it was porn, futuristic porn. Wasn't sure what it was.
Yeah, there's also things where it's Jaden hides in just a glass dome with grass in it. Why is that there?
No
Who's
clue.
that for?
It's a lot of aesthetics, but I don't know what this is to this thing. Anyway, Will Smith comes back and he's so this military dad, just did you get in? He's like, I did not pass. Say it again. I did not pass. Why? Because I'm stupid. That's right. Say it again. You are nothing. You'll never be Will Smith. I am Will Smith.
I love that Jaden's like, I'm gonna go to my room now, and Will Smith is like, denied! Sit down! Like, just the entire movie, I wanted him to keep doing that to everything Jaden did. Like, Jaden's just like, oh god, I'm trying to climb up this wall, and he's like, denied! Sit down!
It's so strange. Jada then walks in. She's like, hey, I'll tell you what you should do. You should take our son on a dangerous mission. And I think she literally says, this is a good idea. And Will Smith's like, oh, I hate him, but go on.
The wife is 100% just like, I too blame our son for our daughter's death, and I'm sick of seeing him around.
He's really bumming out the place. Should we explain what the aesthetic is of their household? It's just like sheets.
I flat out, considering how expensive this movie is, it's an over $100 million production. The money is not on screen. I assume that the actors and M. Night have taken a pretty hefty chunk of money to make the film, because considering this movie has no extras, in my opinion, it looks like it has very few special effects for the CGI animals and everything's actual landscapes. And then there's not that many, like, locations. Like, Will Smith sits in one room for the entire film. So I don't know how this balloons to 130 million. It doesn't look very nice.
I think the production value is there. It's just like, I think it looks very pretty, but it shouldn't be this expensive. I think Will Smith needs it to be this large a budget for it to be a good, like, return. It's very, I don't know. It kind of, like, from what I've been looking up, it just seems like he was, like, broken after this film. Because, like, it was, like, first financial. He's not had a flop since Wild Wild West. And even then, that's, like...
The best? Desperado? Yeah, Rough Rider? Yeah, You Don't Want Nato? That Wild Wild West?
Believe so,
The
yes,
Wiki Wild Wild West? Okay, very good. I'm glad we're there.
Same page. Wild Wild West. Yeah, broken, but it seemed, I don't know, he was like, this is the saddest I've ever been. It's revealed to me, like, not only a success, like, not only... like, the only metric for success, but it seems like he hasn't learned, so, I don't know, I'm kind of happy it's failed.
It's wild to me that they've made this decision with his character to basically act like a robot. Because it's very odd to me that you would take arguably one of the most famous, fun, charismatic, comedic action actors and go, you're not going to emote and you're going to sit in one section for 90 minutes.
Which can only make me think that this is Will Smith when he's off, when he's at home. It was just really depressing. It's like, oh.
Because I watched the new Bad Boys in cinemas, and he's still got it.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
he's still charming, and he does the action scenes well, and he's quick and charismatic and stuff. That it's like, I don't know why you would even bother to do this role. This is such a shit role for an actor to have.
Well,
don't emote. Your character doesn't have an arc. Like,
was it like, because there's no real hiding this. This was just a vehicle for Jaden.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I don't know whether he's toned himself down so he isn't the main person. So Jaden can, because Jaden's given, it's 50% of him. This is his film.
It's more than 50% his film.
Yeah.
Will Smith is mostly a voice on the end of the line. Like, and this is the other thing. I think Jaden Smith is totally fine in The Pursuit of Happiness and The Karate Kid. But I don't understand why you would take this kid and put him out into the wilderness and not have him act against anybody else. He doesn't even get to act against, like, a yellow tennis ball. There's literally no characters for him to interact with.
Yeah, it would have been a green screen in, like, some studio lot. And, like, imagine that with that many crew members and just M. Night and probably Will Smith on the side going, all right, now emote. Like, it must have been tough.
Why wouldn't you have given him, like, a high school comedy thing that gets to show, like, charming comedic range and a bit of drama sort of thing?
Yeah, because I don't know what you'd get from... Because all he really gets to be given here is sort of, like, overcoming adversity, being kind of scared, and kind of being angry. That's the kind of emotions he's get given, which aren't like super like, oh wow, I can't wait to see that.
But because of the fact that when they have dramatic scenes, neither of them are in the same room. It's like it comes off really weird.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
So we'll rush through it. So essentially, we get set up. There's an alien planet.
Oh, hang on. I do want to talk about one quick thing before we rush through it.
Of course.
Because it is important. Before they go onto their mission, a man with one leg is rolled up to Will Smith and is like to his two friends, stand me up.
Will Smith's like, that's fine, soldier. Sit down. Stand me up.
And so these two men struggle to stand this man up with one leg, and he salutes Will Smith for saving his life. And I prayed to God that Will Smith just would have gone, done hard, sit down.
This should also, like all these, I swear to God, every film we fucking do, if they bring a book into the world, they brought Moby Dick into this world.
There's so much Moby.
Moby Dick.
I feel like the extent of the Moby Dick is the fact that it's like Jaden Smith is like turning into a man, cock, dick, Moby Dick. Like
he's a mobile dick because he moves a lot. Do you want to know the story of Moby Dick? I looked it up. I'm not read it, but essentially, a man loses his leg. Wink, and then trying to get back at the person. That's that's the theme. That's the main theme of the book. But what happens to Will Smith? Does his leg get hurt?
He does. One is broken, the other one's terribly broken.
All right, okay, let's get into it. So anyway, they go on. I don't know what the mission is. I don't know what I think
I was confused. They had like a beacon. I wasn't sure if they were transporting a beacon or transporting that monster.
Where
were they taking them? Why didn't they just kill the monster?
No clue. They were transporting the monster. I don't know where to. I don't know why. Anyway, as they're traveling, Will Smith goes to the cockpit and goes, "Hey, something bad's gonna happen." And the pilot's like, "That's a 1 in a million thing that's gonna happen." And then Will Smith's like, "Yeah, I guess I'm never wrong. My wife would disagree." And then the bad thing happens. What was that? What happened? What was that, huh?
They went through a comet or meteor thing.
Yeah.
And then to evade it, I think they hop somewhere.
Yep.
And they end up outside of Earth. And then the ship is so damaged they have to land somewhere.
Gotcha.
So that's what's happened. I don't know why this monster's on this ship. I don't know what the intent of this mission was. And I would also like to put out the in-flight comfortability on this mission is fucking atrocious.
Oh my God, it's 1,000 years.
You go.
It's 1,000 years in the future. Imagine like what futuristic like this is. Okay, essentially, it's like a big empty cargo ship with 5 loose chairs made out of bones. And I can't get out. Will
Smith is like, you better get some sleep. There's not even neck support. Jaden just drops his neck like in front of his chest and falls asleep. Like there's no pillows. There's nothing. They're not even in a chair. There's no backing to it. Like what the fuck are they sitting on?
It's like those anti-homeless chairs. It's just like, better get some shut-eye.
It's also like they're so far into the future, it annoys me that Moby Dick has survived. I would have loved it if they were like, Will, Devil Wears Prada's the in-flight movie today. Look at it.
It's like, an old relic. Meryl Streep, you gotta love her.
Dad, what's Vogue and can I be a part of it? Like...
Anyway, the thing crashed. Will Smith gets sucked out, like properly sucked out.
That's like the money shot.
Yeah.
Was used in the trailers, and it's used twice in the movie in 15 minutes. Like, that's all they've got.
Does that make people feel something? Like, oh wow, Will Smith gets freaking sucked.
Hurt.
Yeah.
Why is this movie cut the way it is? There's so many flashbacks and cut around.
I don't know. Should we just get rid of the let's just smash out the flashbacks. Essentially, Will Smith lost his other daughter, his older daughter, played by Zoe Kravitz, right? To one of these monsters. and Jaden feels
How'd the monster get into its house? Did the monsters attack the entire...
it's loose cloth. Of course, he just slowly walked in. It's there's no security.
The only security is, quick, everybody in this glass bubble with grass. I know, it only fits this one tiny child.
I guess we'll try and ghost him, huh? You know, ghosting? Yeah, we ghosting. What's the point of this? Is this to show that like Will Smith's a bad father, or that Jaden should like learn to grow up even though he's like 5 in a bubble? Like, what is this?
I don't know, because like, to me, I think the entire movie would work better had the father and son actually cared about each other the entire movie. Like, nothing is gained for dramatic tension or anything by the fact that Will Smith just fucking hates everyone and everything, and Jaden is just upset. I just don't know why you would make this choice with these two actors who I think would play off each other in a much more like enjoyable, lighter setting. Like, this is such a serious film for no reason when it should be like a fun action blockbuster.
100%. And it's god. Anyway, so then Will Smith, everyone's
like one of the things that really bugged me about the movie is, so once they crash, Will Smith is like, we are now on Earth where we originated from. And the entire environment and all of the animals has evolved past us. And we are now at the bottom of like the food chain. And we can't even handle this environment either. Everything's evolved past our capabilities. Which right there is like such a great place for creativity of how would you create animals that have evolved past us and things like that. This whole movie just has like some baboons, a big eagle, and like a tiger thing. And that's it.
That's all we get.
There's no like fun ruins or like real fun monster mashups of like animals. It's like, what if like a tiger and a lion mated with like a fucking pigeon? So
like a griffin. Like that'd be sick.
evolve.
There's also a bird. There's like, what is that, like a pterodactyl in one of the scenes?
Yeah, like, I just want, like, I don't understand why you wouldn't have, like, people online draw so many...
Sorry, do you actually know, I want to just tell you, I don't know if this is true or not. No, sorry, it is true. What am I talking about? I saw him, like, talk about it. He was, like, in the film, he was, like, just talking to an interviewer, and he was pretty much like, did you know that if we all humans left the Earth, the entire world would be taken over by domesticated cats and dogs? And he said he was like, I really wanted to add a scene in the film where just a bunch of cats and dogs just started chasing Jaden, but the studio wouldn't allow it. So don't worry, Carl, M. Night's on your side. There should have been a bunch of ravenous cats and dogs.
I would have loved him getting... If it's just cats have just merged into one another, and it's like...
a big ball of cats.
Just like a... I think there's a scene where there's just like a giant amount of birds flocking around. I would have loved the reveal that they're just flying cats. He's like, oh my god.
A much better story.
But I just don't understand how there's so many creative people out there that do like mishmatches of like, what if this animal was combined with this animal and it was this size sort of thing.
It's fucking an Avatar. I don't know what, he literally just made Avatar.
Yeah. Like, why have you come up with giant eagle? Like, most of the film is just like, oh, by evolving, they've become big.
They're not even big. The monkeys aren't even that big. The tigers are pretty standard.
Yeah, I assume that we left Earth, and then that wish machine from the movie Big hung around, and that's all they did.
Oh boy, I wish I was slightly bigger. That's it. That'll do me through 1,000 years.
Oh god. So anyway, the tail of the ship has come off, so Jaden has to go from one side of a place to the other side of a place. Sure.
That's pretty much that's the whole film. That's pretty crazy. We get a couple of set pieces.
And it's Will Smith being like, "Can I trust you to do this?" And Jaden Smith being like, "Yes, I can do this." And him immediately fucking up every other second. There's a part where he gets frightened of a spider, and Will Smith's already like, "What the fuck is it now? What's happened? Why'd you fall? How have you fallen meters away from the ship? How are you ruining this already?"
Because
Like,
it's rogue because like Will Smith has like a drone that's just following him around, so you just see him fuck up. Which I don't know why they didn't just send the drone to get the thing, but hey, that's another thing.
yeah, there's just like, I just don't get. I don't know why. Especially, I don't even know why there's this fear monster in this film when there's already like enough action set pieces and everything to have on just the concept of the Earth has evolved to kill you. Why do you then need to additionally have that fear alien?
Yeah, it's like it couldn't think of anything sick that the Earth would make. Let's just we'll just add another monster. It seemed like a redundant thing that just didn't need to be in the film. I guess you then lose the theme of Will Smith being a ghost.
But why do you... Yeah, I hate the term ghosting. Like, he's not returning the aliens' text stuff that they fucked.
Oh, I guess I'll kill myself.
Will Smith was great at avoiding the aliens the next morning.
You know who Will Smith also ghosted? M. Night Shyamalan. Oh my word.
Boo. I would have loved it if, like, Will Smith has to then become his character of Hitch to get these aliens to overcome getting ghosted by people after they're
That could work. He should be fucking the aliens.
As if this isn't Hitch 2 After Earth. I'd be all for it. Kevin James is here. He's having a ball.
All right. What happened? So immediately Jaden like leaves the ship. He throws a rock at some monkeys.
Will Smith's explicitly like, don't throw anything at the monkeys. And Jaden Smith's like, I've already thrown something.
I have a large rock. What was I meant to do? I found this nice rock. I was gonna peg it at the monkeys.
I love that one of the monkeys throws one back like they were like, hey, don't do...
Just
no,
because we've evolved doesn't mean we're mean.
I've got many times in my notes here being like, I wish the animals could talk. Like, I wish they'd all evolve to be able to talk.
That was rude. Anyway, he escapes because he goes into the water and then he gets leached. And that's when we're introduced like, to the first scene. What is this scene? He gets like all puffy, and then he has to do...
Yeah, he does. He gets all puffed up.
And then he has to get puffed up, baby. And then he has to get the vaccine to himself. And then like Will Smith's like, by the way, you're gonna be paralyzed for like a couple hours. Let's just chill and chat here. I'll put on a podcast.
Oh, one of the things that upset me immediately was Will Smith being like, the nights literally freeze over, so every day we have to get you to a hot spot. And I was like, oh, this is multiple days' journeys? Ugh.
Oh, God.
I was like, I don't want to sit through this.
He's like, these oxygen things.
Jaden has...
Go on.
Jaden has such slicey hands when he runs. He runs so much in the movie, but his hands are so slicey.
Do you want to know really fucked up, which just makes me just really feel sorry for Jaden? He got sent to, and I shit you not. So one, you probably noticed the accents are pretty weird in the film, right?
Oh, they're awful. I've constantly written, why even bother giving them an accent?
They had like someone on set that like, make a language that would be something in 1,000 years' time. And he just gave them a bunch of things they could do. And everyone just had random assignments. But anyway, but back to Jaden. He got taught how to run. Because Will Smith was like, you don't run like an action star. That's why he runs so fucked up.
Like, I think Tom Cruise does slicey hands, but he pulls it off.
He's a nimble little rat.
I don't know why...
That's the Scientology. If this is Scientology, he would have been able to run better.
They should have put him in, like, a Scientology department that teaches you how to run well.
But they just did the Will Smith running. It's weird.
Yeah. So he also has to be drinking, like... breathing
They look
fluid.
like Oreos. They look...
Immediately...
He sits in them like an oaf.
Immediately, Jaden's already crushed half of them. Like, I've never met such an incompetent action star to follow the rest of the film. I've got one who doesn't want to sit out of their chair, and the other one that falls over at every fucking little thing
and then he
does.
lies. He just lies. Will Smith's like, how many you got? He's like, all of them. Not a single one missing.
It's such funny direction too, because Will Smith's like, how many are there, and are any broken? And the camera's literally like, you figure it out, the audience. Like, you count them. Do any of them look It's like a Dora the Explorer. I was waiting for a little monkey to pop up being like, can you see how many are broken? Is it one? No. Do you want to talk about this bird bit?
Yeah, I hate this bird bit. What the fuck's... So Jaden walks to like the cliff. He's like, well... Will Smith's like, it's going to take too long. Just fuck it. End the mission. Jaden Smith has this weird monologue, angry thing. He's like, you know what? Fuck you, Dad. Jumps off the cliff, and then a bird starts like chasing him. They have this whole scene with the birds chasing him, and then finally it cuts to black. The bird snatches in midair, cuts to black. We're in the bird nest. Go on, Carl.
He wakes up. This little baby bird is trying to full on make out with Jaden Smith.
Give him a little smooch.
Like it's going straight in for
Frenching
tongue.
it.
Like it's like right trying to get its whole. It's gross. It's actually revolting. And I hear that they did this for real with multiple chickens.
Yeah, that was Will Smith's idea. He was like, you know what? In the French Prince of Bel-Air, I had to do this. You're doing it, Jaden. It made me a man.
Well, I think they tried to shoot it without them, and Will Smith said you don't make out with chickens like an actual action star. So he had to go to a class to learn how to make out with
Twice a
chickens.
week, he was just making out with chickens for 2 hours, I believe. Just giving them just like, you know, different styles, French, little smooch, bit of Russian.
And I've got it here in my notes. He got bird flu 11 times and the swine flu
He
once.
was actually patient 0 for that, so that's quite a, you know, so that's a thing that happens, you know. But hey, you know, all for the film, and it worked, I think.
I know, he really did give him all of himself to making out with these little
Yeah, I mean,
chicklets.
it's disgusting, but that's the kind of point. It's kind of meant to revolt you in a way that kind of touches you.
Yeah, I too wept.
Yeah, that was my only critique of the film. It made me weep.
Yes, I cried multiple times through this viewing due to the sheer show don't tell relationship between Jaden and this chicken he makes out with.
Let me tell you, and that's only scene 1. When they start fucking and it gets aggressive, you have to shed a tear.
Yeah, that's when you definitely feel sorry for the chicken.
Anyway, the mum shows up and she's not happy.
She's not happy with this situation at all.
This scene happens so quick. Okay, so Jane's about to, like, you know, he's like in a bird nest.
Where's this nest? How did a fucking lion get
5 lions are like, let's get him. Have we missed some scenes? Did some deleted scenes happen? Anyway, so then
I think I read the movie was originally 2 hours 10.
I could believe that. Yeah, it feels like it's been cut up.
So, like, I don't know where these lions have come from, but he looks down and he's like, "Oh my god, the lions are coming to get us!" Immediately, one's in the nest. Like,
So then,
I don't know if it can fly or how to
it
get
has
up
little
there.
it has
but-
little wings. You can't. It's evolved 1,000 years. Anyway, Jaden then defeats one of the lions. It happens so quick. The mama bird is like, "Oh no, all my eggs. Let me kill the tigers." And we're like, Jaden's like, "I'm gonna leave. Hope this doesn't ever come back to haunt me."
So, Jaden then gets caught in like in one of the overnight things, so he's basically going to freeze to death. But who should
Why
show
that
up?
baby, that mother bird from about 4 minutes ago? I've written down. So she's made him a big nest over him, covered her wing over with the thing, so he's like insulated. Jaden wakes up. He's like, "What the fuck? The bird's dead." And he's like, "Wow, that's insane. I'm just gonna leave." What was the hell?
Oh, it's so weird because Jaden's looking at this dead bird and is like, "I'm just gonna give it a little peck."
Just get
Just
talk
right,
to your daughter.
just like he's like a little bit of tongue.
It wasn't shot in chronological order, so this kiss was very sloppy, like in terms of like technique.
Oh, I can understand. You could tell that they shot this before Jaden took the classes on how to
Exactly.
kiss a
It's
bird.
a lot of beak action, not a lot of tongue, and quite frankly, it's revolting for the wrong reasons.
And I didn't buy a ticket for beak. I bought a ticket for tongue. Why did the bird kill itself for Jaden of
I
all
don't know,
people?
because I thought, oh well, it you know, it didn't save the chicks. All the chicks died, so I could only assume the mother was like, well, I've got this motherly instinct. Let me go save that child I was going to eat.
Well, because I think if you look at it, it definitely probably would have been written in the way in which he did save the birds, and then in turn the mother helps him. But then they were like, well, if the mother dies, then all the other birds probably die as well. So they were like, okay, so what if all the birds die and then she saves him? But now it's just like, well, why did he save him? This is literally a movie in which Jaden Smith walks around an environment and kills animals and or makes out with
He's
them.
Mr.
That's it.
Magooing this entire situation.
He's pretty much a fucking poacher for most of this movie.
Oh god, we have like 15 minutes to go. By the way, Will Smith's been slowly dying because as you said, one of his legs is broken and one of his legs is broken badly.
Oh, he talks so technically about everything all the time and is like, how are your legs? One is broken bad. Like,
Anyway, so we've got like 15 minutes to go. The monster from the cargo ship has escaped and is now hunting down Jaden Smith.
does it hunt for sport? Because it hangs people
It does.
from trees.
It's learned that if you stick a human up on a tree, that will make the other human scared and then it will hunt. No clue.
Yeah, it's kind of like Will also watched Predator and loved the concept.
Can we take that? Sure. Let's take that. That's what the monster is. What happens now? This monster kind of
this fight sucks. I don't know the trajectory of the story in which now Jaden is able to ghost.
Yeah,
why is he not afraid anymore?
Well, that's what I thought the flashbacks were, because then Zoe Kravitz, as he's about to die, is like, "Hey, it's a bit sexual. I wasn't happy with it." She's like, "You should."
Oh, I didn't like it at all. It would work if she was a bird.
Yeah, if she was a hot little bird and they just went fucking beak to mouth, I'd be happy. But it wasn't that, Carl. It was human to human, and quite frankly, that disgusted me. That's why I've given it such a bad review. Yeah, the brother and sister.
Zoe Kravitz, not as good as a bird.
No,
not as good as a bird.
Put that on the DVD box. Stressed it very in bold. Yeah.
Speaking of which, have you seen Red Sparrow? Very little bird action in
You've
that
given
film.
it such a high review, so I assume there was a lot of bird action. That's why I've seeked it out on the shitty easy video, whatever we called it.
Prepare to be very disappointed. Very little bird action.
I saw Chicken Run, very happy at the amount of birds. I wasn't happy with the clay sex scene, though.
Chicken Little, very disappointed.
Ginger doesn't get smooched once. Mel Gibson rarely fucked in that film.
Mel Gibson's a cock?
Well, this I have to see.
Claymation form, you're kidding me.
If there's one medium that Mel dominates, it's the clay area.
You don't know it, but he voices Gromit. You just can't hear him.
All right, this monster thing happens. Jaden can ghost. He sets off the beacon. Yeah, we're done. We're done.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. The moment that the alien is killed, they are just saved. It just cuts to them being saved.
Yeah.
Jaden's walking around. Somebody's just watching the movie unfold. Like somebody's literally just like, man, look at that. Look at him kill that alien. Oh my god,
that's fucked up.
Like, oh, there he is. That's the guy from the movie. Oh my god. Like,
then they do.
Everybody runs over to Will Smith, and what does Will Smith do?
He's like, let me stand up. Grabs onto a bunch of extras that aren't happy with the situation. He's like, I'm gonna stand for my son. He's the next Will Smith. Let me tell you, he's the next Will Smith. I salute you, son. I stand for you.
I love it. I can only imagine M. Night walking in being like, okay, so Will, I've got some notes, and Will's just like, Donna! Sit down!
M. Night's, I wrote that line, you can't use that. Alright, that's it. Another week of bird kissing camp.
So in retrospect, has Will Smith stopped blaming his son for the death of the daughter? I don't think that's ever explained.
No, I've got no clue. Well, Will Smith never even touches on that, so I don't know what his... He's just an emotional husk that hasn't evolved.
Yeah, and then, Will Smith flat out doesn't have a character arc, and Jaden's is that he's now turning into a sourpuss like his own dad, which isn't very fulfilling either.
Well, I thought the metaphor was that, to be Will Smith, who's this famous and mega famous, you have to be an emotional shell of yourself. And now Jaden has become that, so now he's ready to be the next Will Smith. That's what I assume the message of the film was.
I thought it was that Will Smith was like, look, I had to be in Wild Wild West, you have to be in After Earth.
That's the rules.
Everybody needs a big budget bomb on their resume, buddy.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. That's the thing.
Yeah, no, and then if you weren't sure about the fact that Moby Dick is an intense motif throughout the film, the movie ends on just whales.
Yeah, a good 23 minutes of whales, noises included, no birds, so... pretty shit.
No Birdcock. 2 thumbs down from Siskel and
Yeah.
Ebert and me.
That's Roger Ebert. He was like, I just didn't get to Let's stop with this bird bit.
I'm all in on the whale bit.
Oh yeah, let's get. Yeah, the whale's really comedically. Wow, we're trying to go for.
The fact that they got Jack Black to voice that one whale at the end, great.
Oh, he nailed it. So I'll quickly just.
Oh, you know what would have been great if Sebastian the whale washing dolphin had rocked up at the end for a little Will Smith reenactment.
Oscar the fish and Jack. Oh, it would have been. It would have all tied together.
Why isn't this a Hitch, Shark Tale, After Earth mishmash?
Martin Scorsese could have directed it and starred in it. He's the fish.
Oh god! I also hated this one little bit of There's been no comedy.
Oh
in the
yeah,
entire
sorry,
film.
yeah. Go how it ends.
And so Jaden's just been like, I want to work with Mum, and Will Smith's like, and they lie him down, and he continues laughing, and it's like he's broken Will Smith in that one line. Just like it's like the original arc of his character was that he had to learn how to laugh. And that's why that's the end note of the film.
M. Night really pulled for that, but the studio just wouldn't allow it. And Will Smith over the whales. It's poetic, and it really just didn't land because it didn't have the building blocks behind it.
So that's $130 million film. Fuck me.
Yeah.
What a waste.
I've got some extra little fun little things.
Go for it.
I found a Google Hangout that was released during the film. Some of the roguest people I've ever seen. You got Will Smith, Jaden. You've got one of the like major critics. You've got a high school, like a whole classroom, Elon Musk, and a NASA scientist. And it is the roguest thing.
It's Elon Musk is a weird guy who had been in Hollywood for ages. He's in Iron Man 2. I was watching Iron Man 2 the other day.
Really?
He's in that.
That's insane.
Yeah.
He's in this thing, and I think one of the critics like, hey, how does space travel work? He's like, well, actually, you could warp to work. And everyone's like, haha, that's kind of weird. And Elon's like, no, it's how it would work. And they're like, cool. How was Costa Rica, Will Smith? And he's like, it was fun.
Is that Elon Musk with before he got his hair transplant or after?
It looks like it's before. His hair looks a bit fucked up. I think it was in the middle of it, 2013. So like he hadn't really.
It's probably mid-transplant.
Yeah, I was thinking his hairline looked a bit scruffy.
Oh, Elon.
Yeah.
All right, Oscar. Who would watch After Earth?
I think this is a strange vanity project, like a 200. It's a $250 million vanity project for Will Smith to be like, can my son and daughter be famous? I guess they can because they're famous still, but yeah, I'm just kind of like upset with this because M. Night's been dragged into this.
I know it's funny the Will Smith eclipses him so much in this film. Because it's like, we talk about M. Night so much in the other 3 episodes. And it's like, you know, his fingerprints aren't even on this. He's not even a talking point about this. He seems so disconnected from this material.
He was cut from the trailers. His name's not on the poster or anything. He's like properly cut from this.
Yeah, this does not, I don't think any of this is M. Night's fault.
I don't think so. I think it's pretty competently made, actually, honestly, in terms of like the cinematography, the shots. It feels like it's been...
Which I heard is pretty much what he did, right? It's like M. Night had to do the blocking and where the camera was going to be. And then Will Smith was the one that did everything for Jaden in terms of coaching him and getting him to act. And it was Will Smith that developed all of the story
Pretty
beats
much. And then
everything.
they got a professional writer to like you know, make it like an actual script. But yeah, this is...
I mean, would we call this an actual
No,
script? I don't think so.
Well, the script writer did do the script for the Back to the Future game, so, you know, grain of salt.
Oh, that's
a fucking good game, isn't it?
That is a good game. It's a good fucking game. Have we got that? Can we get that?
Yeah, we can get that. Can we get that?
Are we?
No, we can't. We have no interns or power.
We've been told that we can't get that?
We no one to tell us. We just cannot, because we have nobody here to do that for us.
Who's been producing the show the entire
It
time?
turns out no one's producing it, and I think the quality shows.
Oh god, you're so right. Now that you've said it, this is a bad podcast. Is that the real twist at the end of these
like,
four?
whoa!
These
Oh, he twisted us. It's a bad podcast. Who would have known? What the fuck? Oh my god! All right, quickly. Who would?
Somebody listened this far in to realize that it wasn't worth listening.
Hang on. That's now. Now that's a twist. Quickly, who would watch this? I don't know. It's Will Smith when he's like, another film made $2 trillion. I guess I'll put this on. Oh, sorry, no, I'll give it a genuine one. I think this is the most average sci-fi film. If you want to look for it, it is just, it's bland. It's not that bad. I think the background's more interesting as it being a vanity project. It is just a film. It is shitter than Avatar. That's it. And if you're into that, you're going to love this one.
I guess it's genuinely for people who want to know what it's going to be like after Earth.
Yeah, I think so too. By the way, in that Google Hangout, everyone agreed. All the rich people were like, we're going to leave the Earth. And then the poor people were like, we can try and fix it. And they were like, no, we're going to leave the Earth. No doubt in our minds. And the class is like, we can't do that.
One of the things I thought was funny, somebody did like a giant type up on Twitter because her husband works for like NASA or whatever. And was just like, the idea of rich people trying to leave Earth is so difficult considering space constantly just wants to kill you. And it takes billions of dollars and an all-round team of hundreds just to get one person up into space and constantly be fixing the ship, having the right amount of it's just, the whole thing of it is so expensive and makes so many people have to be involved that there's no way it could properly be commercialized getting to even another planet for so long for another settlement. Like, those rich fuckers are gonna die here with us and we're all gonna burn to the ground.
It's gonna be pretty good. Not the podcasters though. We're like, there's like the Illuminati and then there's us. We're freaking...
Did the Scientology place anticipate you becoming a podcaster? Because surely
they pretty much said, low self-esteem? Yeah, podcasters in your road. Start with us, we'll get you out of that. And they were like, I'm like, no.
You'll make more money if you go with Scientology than you will
Give us
starting a
$60.
podcast.
Oh, wow, you've already made more money.
You'll lose less money going with Scientology.
And you'll feel better. You'll feel part of a club.
All right, Oscar, what's your palate cleanser?
I watched My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
What? Why?
Well, it's, we're in lockdown. I don't know about you, but I can't bring myself to watch anything that's, at all challenging. And I was interested.
Oh, I'm the same at the moment. I'm just upset about... I will not watch a drama at the moment. The world upsets me.
I had in my diary, I'm like, watch one of those films, watch one of those fucked up films, like a Persona or like a big one. And I was like, I literally could not in any way do that. So I watched My Fat Big Greek Wedding. It's good. It is. I get why it was so popular, but it's not for me. There's no conflict. It is like the most rom-com film ever. I think it's okay. It's so strange. I love it, but it's not good. It's just, it's like it's like they accidentally made the most chick flick. It's not cliche really that much, but it's strange.
I think the real love that people have for it is the family dynamic.
I think so, yeah.
And I think if you don't have that family dynamic, you don't get the film. And I didn't have that family dynamic, and I don't understand why that film's so big.
I have a large Greek family, and I just did not connect with it. I just couldn't get into the culture.
You're so cold and British, you fucking liar.
Our family sits at a large table as far away as possible, and we haven't talked in years, and that is why I couldn't relate.
Your monocle just fell out of your eye with that lie.
Can you be quiet? The boy's sweeping the chimney. We kind of need to sit in silence on this part. Carl, what did you watch?
I watched Dark City.
Okay, what's that?
It is a film from the early 2000s or very late 1990s. I think it came out just before The Matrix, and it's very Inception-y, Matrix-y, high concept, dreamlike sci-fi. And it has not aged well, and I would love for it to be remade. But I think there's a lot of really cool stuff in it, and I can see how people have probably watched that and used that in a lot of other movies in better
Well, that's
ways.
fun. Yeah, I'm looking at some pictures now. That's really cool.
Yeah, there's some really cool concepts and action set pieces and things like that. I don't think it comes together completely. I know that some people love it. I couldn't get onto the love it train with it, but I definitely think that you can see the impact this movie has made on like a lot of films and filmmakers in terms of just the high concept and stuff that it's done with it.
I've just really quickly read a bunch of the sets were sold to the Matrix. So there you go.
Yeah, right. It's like really, yeah. It's just like it's a real shame because I think every other movie that's maybe used pieces or concepts of it, and you know, this movie probably borrows heavily from a lot of foreign concepts and books as well, but its script and characterizations just are not up to scratch with many of the other stuff that is derivative of it. Like, yeah, which is the real letdown of it. I'd love for it to be remade. It is like big fun and everything, but it's just, yeah, I didn't get the love for it, but I did like it. I thought it was alright.
Pretty cool.
If you're seeking out something a little different, maybe do Dark City.
Check out.
Yeah.
All right, Carl, we finished M. Night's month. I would like to say, I'm glad that Old's doing well. I think he's back into his, 20 million, fun little concept. Make that. They do okay. They're a bit more horror. He's doing well. I'm glad. Because I think this sort of shitty train of him... I did feel like this was the first film I felt that we were dogpiling on. Him as a director, I felt. So I'm glad he's back on his horse.
I would love to say the fact that I will always watch an M. Night Shyamalan film. I always think he swings for the fences, and he always is making original films, which I'll always support. And whether they are bad or good, I will usually always watch his movies. Though I read a thing that he is one of a handful of directors to have a #1 film at the box office 4 decades in a row.
My God, of course. Oh my God,
Yeah,
he would have, yeah.
And so considering M. Night Shyamalan of all people has that, and the way that people dogpile on him, I think you can't ignore the fact that he has a very successful career and a certain craft to the way that he makes films that not many other people make. Good on you, M. Night. I'm sticking by you, and I'm keen to watch
M. Night
all
films. I think everyone should give them a check out because they'll be fucking entertaining. That's the thing, regardless of their intent.
All right then. So next month we are going into a Nicolas Cage month with the Kissing Booth 3 also there.
Booth 3. Don't worry, you don't have to listen to the Kissing Booths. We'll give a quick summary at the start of that episode of what the general story is, because I don't think the audio was that good.
I hear it's going to be
for our ones.
I hear it's going to be the Godfather 3 of trilogies.
Oh no,
so
Sophia Coppola's in this one. Wait, who's the mum? Just real quick, who's at Kissing Booth? It's Molly Ringwald. So rogue. Oh, I wonder if she's back.
Yeah.
Anyway, very keen. Yeah, Nick Cage and Kissing Booth 3. It's going to be juicy.
So I think next week we're doing
Vampire's Kiss. Let's do Vampire's Kiss. Lock it in.
Love it. Looks like we're doing Vampire's Kiss next week. And so we shall see
you then. Thank you for listening, even more than what Carl said.
Okay, well, it's not a competition, but I did
who's winning his Oscar? And we're going to stop the record there. I'm editing, baby. Fuck you.